Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, not gonna lie, this feels weird. Not in a bad way whatsoever. It just feels foreign to me since it's been so long since I filmed anything. But I will say that it does feel good not having to worry about how I look, like how my makeup looks, or my background, or anything like that. It feels good that I can just sit down, record a video, and upload it without having to edit anything. This is incredible. But this is weird, but I'm very excited about this because, quite frankly, I have missed making content for my YouTube channel. And I've been going back and forth about coming back quite often. And I always told myself, once I left, I decided if I decide I want to come back, I'm gonna wait until I know for an absolute fact it's what I want to do. And I miss it. I miss talking about things. I miss, commentating about different situations happening, especially in the beauty community. I love the beauty community. I've watched, even though I've been off of YouTube as a creator, I'm still an avid watcher of the beauty community. And I have a lot to say. So I missed it, and this felt like the right time. So here I am. And that's it. That's what's going on. So I decided that, especially since, I know people are going to say, well, I miss seeing you on camera, we want to see you and listen to you talk, but I'm going to be honest, that type of video is not going to be something that I'm going to do on my channel very often, if at all. Just because number one, I don't have the time or the energy at the end of the day. I work full-time. I'm a full-time single parent. I don't have the luxury of having my sperm donor and, down the street to come pick her up and watch her. As a matter of fact, he's not in her life. He chooses not to be. It's been a very long time. It's been close to 9, almost 10 months now since he's asked to talk to her or see her or anything. That's his choice. It is what it is. We make time for the people who are important to us, you know what I mean? So he's made it very obvious where she lies in his life, and that is what it is. So I don't have the luxury of another parent. Her grandparents are working as well. So I do have a babysitter, but I only utilize her when I have to go to work. So really and truly, the thought of trying to actually sit down and film a video in front of a camera and edit footage was not going to happen. It won't happen. So those days are gone. I may, in the future sit down and film 1 or 2 if I have the time. But for the most part, I don't. I don't have the time. My time is fully taken up by my daughter. She is now 2.5. And we are thriving. She's thriving, growing so big every single day. It's ridiculous. I have posted some pictures on Twitter and Instagram, which, by the way, if you are not aware, last year, I want to say it was May. It's been a year actually now since May. May of last year, my old Twitter that I had connected to my YouTube channel was hacked and deactivated. I have no idea who it was. I was just getting off of reporting on Kim Marshall and the charity scam. So I'm assuming it was one of her and her cronies. Or it was he who should not be named 4 phones. We won't say that name here. We're not going to summon that demon from the depths of hell ever again. But I had my list of suspicious people that I think it might be. But whoever happened. It is what it is. It's over with. I tried getting it back. There's no way to get it back, so I gave up and just made a new one. So I will link the new one down below for you guys and attach it to my channel. Follow me on there. I'm on there all the time for the most part. But anyways, so yeah, I'm doing well. Aurora's doing well. We have a lot going on. But we're happy. We're thriving, we're happy, and I'm doing it on my own, the way I have been since the day she was born. So that's what's going on. So that's the update on moi and Aurora. And then I asked you guys on Twitter, some of you guys were in my DMs giving me certain things to talk about. Obviously, Gabby Hannah was a big subject, Jeffree Star, and what I think about his downfall more recently. We'll discuss that a little bit, and Tati's return. But then also, I was just on Twitter as of, it's 8 now, I think, as of about a couple hours ago, Joey Graceffa apparently is now going to be making a video or going to be releasing something in response to Gabby Hannah. Let's start with Gabby Hannah because she's been on everyone's radar in the last few days, okay? So Gabby Hannah, I'm going to be honest, I've never liked, I don't see the talent, I don't see the allure. Gabby Hannah has just made herself, if she was unlikable before to me, she is now unbearable at this point. A despicable fucking person. She just released a video, I think it was the day before yesterday, where she was demanding apologies from drama channels and commentary channels, which was weird to me because she accused all these channels of, how'd she word it? Basically using a very sad story to get money, basically. Utilizing the trauma of a family to make bank, and or get clout or whatever the fuck. The whole video itself was a fucking disaster in my opinion. But it's hilarious because Miss Gabby has been basically harassing the shit out of Jessie Smiles. I don't want to get too far into that. I'm sure we all know what happened. I myself, my opinion, I believe that Gabby is a rape apologist. And for that, again, she's just the most disgusting human being on the face of the earth. But to watch her video demanding apologies for a family that it just doesn't make sense. What her thought process of when making that video I will never understand what it was because it just didn't make sense. Because she has been basically torturing Jessie Smiles. Jessie has said over and over again, please leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. It's obvious that those two don't like each other, and it's obvious why, especially in Jessie's case, why she doesn't like Gabby, because of this. She's relentless. She's merciless when it comes to attacking Jessie. And quite frankly, I'm praying for Jessie. I pray that Jessie finds peace, whether it's because Gabby finally gives up, or it's because Jessie finally seeks legal action against Gabby and gets her shut the fuck up, because that's what needs to happen, quite frankly. So it's been a big mess, right? And like I said just a few seconds ago, Joey Graceffa now, apparently she's releasing all these videos on her channel. I'm not sure what the motive is. I think it's just to put a bunch of bullshit out there, to be honest. Or try to gain some sort of like sympathy from people, which is not working. People don't give a fuck. People don't give a single shit. But her recent video was discussing Escape the Night, or something like that, which as we all know, Joey Graceffa was a main character on, or the creator of this, I think. I'm not sure. I never watched it. But she was talking about, I guess there was drama on the set. And Joey is like, okay, bet, that's fine, like, let's talk about it, bitch. Like, he's ready now. He's like, hold my fucking drink, bitch. Like, now we're gonna go into it. So I'm very curious to see what he's gonna release. There was a lot of talk about Gabby being very, very, very hard to work with on the set, being disrespectful, nasty, which is obviously, that's Gabby. Not hard to believe, to be honest. So I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen, because quite frankly, the only people who have really stood up to her as far as big creators has been Jessie so far, because obviously Jessie has a reason to, you know what I mean? She's over the bullshit that Gabby keeps piling on to her. And it's going to be very interesting to see what Joey has to bring to the table. And obviously there was a back and forth between Gabby and Trisha Paytas. But Trisha Paytas, as far as I know, they are disgusting too. They're no better than Gabby. So they can also just fucking kick rocks and just disappear off the face of the earth for all I give a fuck, to be honest. They're both trash bags. So that's what's going on with that. I can't wait for someone to put her in her place, because she's relentless, especially towards Jessie, and it makes me so fucking angry to see her continuously using footage of Jessie crying for whatever reason. And I know it affects Jessie. She's mentioned it, that it's fucking up her mental health, and she just had a baby. not too long ago. I think she's, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I am wrong. Isn't she pregnant again, or she just had her baby? Like, this is not the time to be fucking doing this shit to somebody. That's fucked up to do. So I'm hoping that Gabby gets her just desserts served cold, whether it be by Graceffa or somebody else who's, like, behind the scenes, like some, like, wild card ass fucking person just coming out of left field with all the receipts to expose this bitch once and for all, to get her to shut the fuck up. That's what needs to happen. So, I mean, that's been one side of what I've seen on Twitter. But you guys asked me to discuss basically also what I thought about the fall from grace of Jeffree Star. It's been a long time coming. There's not much else to say. Jeffree Star and his supporters, anyone who supports that man is fucking disgusting. Trash heaps. You know, there was a time where I did, but I was also able to learn and change my opinion on based off what I learned about him. And I can't believe I ever, you know, supported something like that. Not even supported him. I can't believe I ever liked him to like any extent. He's a trash bag. Him and his supporters are all fucking trash heaps. So to me, seeing where we were now, like, especially as someone who was really heavily involved in, you know, the drama community or commentary community back then, whatever you want to call it, back then, especially when Dramageddon first happened, and seeing where we were then to where we are now, it is incredible. Because I can remember, you know, I never had any personal interaction with Jeffree, to be honest. There may have been, like, one quote tweet from him, or maybe he responded to something that I'd said once or twice. That's about the extent of the interaction that he and I had at that point. But I remember being so, like, I couldn't believe how far things went with that situation, and how basically the entire tide turned in favor of Jeffree for so long, simply because he was top dog. Let's be honest. I'm not going to sit here and discredit him. He was top dog for a very long time. So it's actually kind of funny to see him now basically scrounging up whatever attention he can get. I've seen the accident, I've seen the pictures, I've seen the videos of him right after the accident when he claimed to have broken his back or hurt his back severely or whatever. I don't know what the truth is. All I know is I have seen patients who have broken their back or have had back injuries, severe back injuries, and I've never seen one of them go out onto a fucking gun range and fucking bend over or do whatever the fuck he was doing in the gun range not too long after the accident. Like, that just was, he tells on himself. It's hilarious, but he knows that his supporters are so far up his ass, they probably could taste what he had for fucking Christmas dinner 2 Christmases ago. That's just, that they don't give a fuck. That's what they're happy being there. You know what I mean? So he knows with his supporters, nothing's going to change because they're his supporters and he has them wrapped around his finger. But for the most part, a lot of people, including myself, are laughing at the fact that he has fallen from grace where he was before. And actually, on that same note, I've been meaning to make a video about this, so I want to discuss it in here too. This is like not personal tea, but just something that I wanted to get off my chest because I haven't done it yet, as far as I remember. And I've looked back in my category, or in my catalog of videos, and I have not addressed this. So, Manny MUA, speaking of Dramageddon, excuse me, Manny MUA, I think it was either last year, like early last year, I can't remember when it was, whether it was early last year or the year, late December of the year before, 2019, Manny made a video, and if I can find it, I will link it down below for you guys. It's the video where he said, you know, my I think my AdSense may be in the red, but my life is in the green, or something like that. It was the cutest thing ever. Everyone was making fun of him, but I thought it was fucking cute as shit. I wanted to publicly apologize to him because no matter what my intention was in making my videos around the time of Dramageddon, I wasn't very nice to him. And I think we've all come to the consensus, finally, we all agree that he was dragged and shredded to pieces for literally no reason. That man did not deserve the shit that he had gotten from that fallout. But it's because of his relationship with Jeffree that things went down so quickly for him. And I remember going back to my videos. I did go back and I watched them. I tried to remain as, in the middle as I possibly could, because the entire time everyone's shredding Manny, I'm sitting there thinking, what did he fucking do though? Like, and everyone's coming up with this, oh, well, he was a shitty friend. Well, I mean, that excuse was stupid as fuck. I think we know who the shitty friend was in every friendship that he has had. It's not Manny, because the same people who were all friends before, I think it was before Jeffree even, they're still friends now. He's the only one who's out of the picture. Because, why? Because he's a shitty fucking person. And a shitty friend. Excuse me. So, but Manny himself, I have always been a fan of. Always been a fan of. As a matter of fact, in my Facebook memories, my personal Facebook, I have a picture of him when he was doing a Whitening Lightning ad. That's how far back this was. Whitening Lightning was like the shit. The hold Whitening Lightning had on the YouTube girls back then was ridiculous. I will never understand it, but it did. And he also had an ad for Gerard Cosmetics, I think it was, actually. Not Whitening Lightning, but I think it was Gerard Cosmetics. And I remember screenshotting his picture and sharing it to my Facebook and being like, he's so gorgeous. Like, the makeup is flawless. Like, it's amazing. I think I shared it to his Twitter, and he was like, oh my god. Like, he reacted to it because it was so old and he was so baby-faced back then. But I've always loved Manny because his personality is fucking adorable. I love watching him. He's fun to watch, personally. And he's just so down to earth. And I've always felt that way. So throughout the entirety of Dramageddon, all the Dramageddons, wherever he was involved, I was always like, this isn't right. You know what I mean? Like, this man should not be getting shredded the way that he's been getting shredded. Like, at least everyone else in the group with Laura and busted ass fucking Nikita Dragon. I can't stand Nikita Dragon. That's another one that I can't stand. Even Gabriel, whoever. All of them had some pretty fucked up things exposed. You know what I mean? There was a situation with Manny where it was a restaurant and there was a disabled girl, but it was a comment. I don't remember what exactly. It's been years. And then there was something else where he was in an Uber or something and the driver didn't speak English and he made a comment. Those are the only two things I can think of where people were like, well, he did this and this and this. He's exposed. Now he's canceled. And it's like, I don't know about that. Not the same. It's nowhere near the same severity as what everyone else was being exposed for. And then people, once that didn't work, him canceled for that, then everyone's like, well, he was a shitty friend. Because really and truly, I mean, he was only really canceled because Jeffree Star said so. Let's be real. There was no real reason for him to be canceled the way he was. So at the end of it, I mean, I'm going on a tangent now, bringing up old shit, but at the end of what I'm trying to say is this. Manny, you will probably never watch this video. You probably don't even watch my channel. I haven't had videos on here in a long time, so I wouldn't be surprised if you did not. But I wanted to publicly apologize to you because me and him have we talked privately for quite a while. And I was able to apologize to him privately. But I've always been of the mindset, and I've always said, whatever you do in public, if it's time for you to apologize, rude ass motorcyclists, if it's time for you to apologize, you should apologize publicly too. I agree with that. So I wanted to apologize to Manny publicly once and for all and to get it off my chest, even though I've already apologized to him privately. He did mention me in a video and thanked me, and a few other creators. Here for the Tea, of course, was one of them, and there was someone else. I can't remember who else the third person was, but he thanked us for treating him like a human being and asking him like, hey, are you okay? Because when Dramageddon, after Dramageddon kind of slowed down, I did message him after everything, and I was like, you know what? I need to make sure that he's okay. And I did message him. I DM'd him, and I was like, hey, are you okay? Like, I'm hoping that you're okay. And which is stupid to ask, because obviously when you have millions of people fucking against you, are you really going to be okay? No, it's not fun. I can't imagine. But I did reach out to him, and I was like, you know what? You didn't deserve the shit that happened to you. And I apologized to him privately, and he thanked me for that, and then thanked me in the video. So I wanted to thank him for that, but also apologize again publicly for what had happened and my involvement in that situation. It wasn't fair, and I should have spoken up louder. I was very vocal about about being against Manny. I truly don't believe he deserved the hate that he got. But I'm so proud of him, because I see him now and he's thriving, and it just makes me so happy to see him thriving. So to Manny, I love you. I'm so happy for you. His business is thriving. Honestly, I have a lot of his palettes. I have like 4 of them. If you want quality shadows, baby, Lunar Beauty is the way to go. And the lip glosses are incredible. Not because I'm trying to be a kiss ass. I'm being honest. I don't wear lip gloss or lip products anymore as often. But the one I do grab for the most is, I forgot the name of it, but it's one of his lip glosses. It's incredible. So, yeah. So there's that. What else? Oh, James Charles and Tati. So, and this will be the last subject that I talk about in this. I don't want this to be too long for you guys. So, Tati has recently made her way back to YouTube. And I have to be honest, I think people are celebrating a little too soon. And this may be an unpopular opinion, and I'm not trying to start shit with anybody. That's not my intention whatsoever. But I don't think people should be trusting Tati, because she has been and was a snake. You know what I mean? Very snake-like behavior, when the only time she stood up against James Charles was when he wasn't promoting her Halo Beauty gummy vitamins how many years ago it was now, almost 3 years. She had no problem with his behavior until he wasn't supporting her business the way she wanted him to, or she expected him to, for being so close to him. And so, on top of that also, obviously now there's been a pattern exposed of, from James Charles, that he has actively been caught many times texting underage, like, kids. That's a fact. However, at the time of her first video, it's still fucked up to accuse somebody of something like that without any proof. Like, I understand the proof has now come out, and obviously my opinions have changed, but I'm just saying, when you make claims like that, it can damage someone's life. Especially without proof, it can damage someone's life. And I didn't think it was fair back then what she did. I really did not. It was very selfish of her. Her motives were very obvious in making the video she did. The Bye Sister video, I think it was, or whatever. I forgot what it was called. It's been so many years now. So it's interesting to me to see her making her come back to YouTube, and then she made a video saying, I don't want drama channels I'm not going to talk about the James Charles situation that's behind me or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they're handling it behind the scenes privately, legally. I'm not sure. But it's like, you don't do shit like that and not admit, listen, yeah, maybe I should have, produced some sort of proof to back up what I was claiming he was doing, but she's back. Whether or not I want her to be back, it doesn't matter. She's still back, and she's being, from what I've seen, welcomed with open arms from a lot of different people. I myself think, snake, I still think she's a snake, but That's just my opinion. I will not support her or watch her videos unless there's something, serious going on. And of course, in her first video, back after her addressing her return, she did, hey, Halo Beauty, here she is advertising again. So, of course, it's her brand. It's to be expected. So, yeah, I have very mixed feelings about her return. I think there's a lot that needs to be said on her end that has not been addressed, but, who am I to tell her what she should and shouldn't say? You know what I mean? Because I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens once James Charles inevitably does make a comeback. I really have a feeling, and you guys can clock me on this if you'd like, I have a very strong feeling that not Rich Lux. That reminds me of fucking, when I hear someone saying clock something, I imagine Rich Lux. I really have a strong feeling that James Charles and Shane Dawson are going to be making a comeback. 100%. I don't see them not making a comeback. And as a matter of fact, the reason why I feel so strongly about Shane specifically is because Jeffree mentioned him in his more recent video where he was addressing him moving to Wyoming or wherever the fuck in East Bumfuck he was moving. When I saw that video, I did watch that video, I was like, oh man, I know what that means. Because he's been testing the waters, Shane's been testing the waters, trying to release like merch still and advertise it, and then he'll put on Snapchat, I am planning on coming back soon, hopefully, LOL. And it's very manipulative what he's doing. So I do see Jeffree helping him make a comeback to the platform. I think in the next few months, to be honest. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens once James comes back, especially where Tati's concerned, because now he'll be back. So now what's going to happen? So I don't know. But overall, the state of the beauty community really has not changed, because the beauty community itself is not, is not made up of only Jeffree Star and only James Charles and only Tati and whoever else. That's not the case. The beauty community, no matter what happens in the top tier of creators, is thriving. There are artists on this platform who would outbeat any of the top, especially Jeffree Star, to be honest. He does really mediocre work for what he does and for his fame. All he really does is sell good makeup. I'm not gonna lie. His makeup was quality. So I don't see the beauty community. I think it's going back to where it was before we had these huge personalities clashing. But it's always been good. So I can't stand when people still say, the beauty community is ruined. It's like, no, it's not. It's really not. It's thriving. People are, creating these looks that are fucking outstanding every single fucking day. It's just you have to look out for them and pay attention to them, and not, the top influencers that you have in the beauty community. So yeah, I don't know. That's about all I'm gonna talk about for today. This is a almost 30-minute segment, so that's pretty good. So yeah, this is my first episode back. If you have any critiques, let me know. If there's a weird sound, or if there is any equipment that I can get to perhaps make, maybe my voice sound better or more clear or something, or if there's better editing software, let me know. I'm down for any critiques or comments you may have to make this better. But and also, if there's any topics you want me to discuss, let me know. I know everyone's been begging me to talk about the MLMs again. Honey, I have to get the energy. It's a lot. So I will work on that for you guys. But if there's any other topics you want me to discuss in the next podcast, which will be next weekend, let me know. But until then, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining me, guys. Love you guys. Bye.